This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Mon Oncle, a French comedy feature from Jacques Tati made back in 1958, which sees the return of Monsieur Hulot. The film itself is more about his life at home and the run-down town in which he and others live and work, compared directly to the home of his sister and her husband, whose bourgeois and materialistic desires have resulted in a state-of-the-art, ultra-modern house that seems made more for the sake of impressing others than actually being a home. Their dueling lifestyles are shown from the perspective of Gerard, Hulot's young nephew, who prefers his more honest way of life than his own parents, who see Hulot as a bad influence and try to fix him up with an industrial job and a rich wife. I'm probably explaining it a bit poorly, but this is an absolutely delightful story, with a much clearer and straightforward direction than Tati's previous films. Granted, things are still relatively plotless, with scenes taking up a large amount of time within the greater running length before moving on to the next segment. The film could effectively be broken down into these smaller episodes of sorts, and each could be its own short film, or something to that effect. The movie works better as a whole, though, even if it is 2 hours long. Anyways, these scenes may all have a generally relaxed pacing, but it also allows for the most direct social satire yet, again falling upon comparisons between older ways of community and newer modern ideas of how to live in so-called comfort. There's a high presence of hard angles and geometry in Gerard's home, with angular and narrow pathways and platforms, unseen devices controlled by unremarkable knobs, and a fountain that is only activated for important guests, at least whenever it actually works right. It's amazingly detailed in its impracticality and lifelessness compared to the more natural designs found in Hulot's side of town, making this home of the future effectively an exercise in sterility. This is something that extends to Gerard's parents, and it's especially emphasized in one scene that directly compares Hulot's nighttime antics with an anniversary dinner date, a scene which itself definitively cements the film's themes. Visually, Mon Oncle is also expertly crafted. Tati's visual style calls for wide shots and long takes, with a slow pacing to draw you more directly into the world and whatever's going on, almost as if to let your eyes drift across the frame to make sure you get every necessary detail. It's almost all that you're given in regards to the action, as musical score is limited and sound effects are emphasized for the same sort of attention-grabbing effect. The use of color in this film, compared to Tati's previous features, allows for a newer layer of visual and thematic storytelling, as Hulot's home is bathed in natural colors that blend into an interesting palette, while the ultra-modern lifestyle comes with many neutral tones, even more gray tones, and an overall sense of flatness that erases any sense of personality or perhaps humanity. That all said, for the most part, the visuals come secondary to the themes, though more so because of how malleable Tati's creative style is, and how well he's able to use it to illustrate his ideas within the world he's created. It all goes towards the simple idea that embracing one sense of fun and wonderment will often make you more relatable than any amount of technology you can show off, or something like that. Mon Oncle, Jacques Tati, 1958. 4.5 stars. I'd definitely say this is worth giving a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I feel like I didn't say much about this movie. It's mostly because once you understand the themes being expressed and how they're being shown, the rest just kinda clicks with you, you know?